Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. Hi, it's Brooke-Sidney. I help with mindset and manifestation. And today we're going to talk all about this trend, this buzzword called robotic affirmations and how they work. But before we jump into it, I want to remind you all or invite those that are new to me to check out the ways that you can work with me. You can either work with me one-on-one, like Zoom coaching, a more involved, more intensive, or very easily work with me through email coaching. I have several different packages available. I also offer two free groups below. One for the women, Awaken the Queen Within, where we, deal with women stuff, healing, going through breakups, moving through them, and really manifesting the life and the relationships that we want. And then I have one for everyone that's great for our guys too, called the Conscious Creators Community. So check them out below. So today we're talking all about robotic affirmations. And for those of you that might be new to Law of Assumption, Neville Goddard, or this whole manifestation community, I thought it'd be helpful to explain them. To me, robotic assumptions are essentially when we are repeating assumptions over and over and over again. If you notice, if you say something over and over and over and over again, not only does it get irritating, jokes, but it starts to sound kind of mechanical or robotic. And so the idea here is that you are saying something over and over and over again. You are repeating it. I have a video on repeating affirmations. I'm going to post it above, where I also talked about this essentially same topic. But it has been going around the internet, the YouTube, all of us talking about robotic affirmation. So I wanted to address it for the people in my community. So where does it come from, right? Where does it come from? You're seeing it now in several different ways. You're seeing people talking about 1,000 affirmations challenges. You're seeing people publish books about 369. I remember a lady from a long time ago, one of the first manifestation coaches I've seen, she was talking about, I think, the 5-5-5 method or 5x5, where you pick 5 affirmations and you write it 55 times or something crazy. The idea is that you just keep doing it over and over and over again. That's essentially the general idea of it. Writing it down or saying it aloud or both causes it to work. So, first of all, how to do it. As I was mentioning before, you could write it down or you can say it out loud. The important thing that I want to stress when you're approaching this is find something that will cause a big shift, or find something that you will be able to easily note when you're manifesting. Don't choose something obscure where you're kind of did it indeed manifest? Am I manifesting this? What happened here? Choose something where it's been troubling you, or something fun. A lot of people choose to kind of work on their manifestation muscles by choosing something like, I'm going to see a yellow Volkswagen Bug to prove to themselves that manifestation works. Whatever you do, my advice, especially in the beginning, is to choose something that's Captain Obvious, that you know that you've manifested it. The second thing that I want to say or advise is that if there is something that you've been feeling down about, maybe you've gone through a breakup, lost a job, you want more money, there is something you know that you want to manifest, choose an affirmation or a statement that will affirm the living in the end, the story that you want to create. Go there first, right? Work on that. Path of least resistance. Let's go there. Let's make it easy for ourselves. So that's essentially what you do. You rewrite a belief that you currently have that's not serving you. So if you, for example, feel like you don't have any friends, you could affirm that I always have friends. I make friends easily. People love to hang out with me. People love to call me. People love to, be in my company. I'm always getting asked to do things. Pick one, maybe 2 of those, and keep affirming over and over and over and over again. One that has worked for me truly in the past was everything always works out for me. I've talked about this in other videos. When I have begun saying everything always works out for me, so much so that I even hear it in my own head now when I'm in the shower. And oftentimes, thank God, it is one of the first things that comes into my mind when something bad happens, or what we color as bad, or which we perceive as bad, is that everything always works out for me. And it encourages me to kind of look for the silver lining, to see what I may not be seeing, and to try to learn the lesson. It also reminds me to trust in God and trust in the good. And so I love that affirmation. I think that it is beautiful and it has really helped me. And it's one that I have truly, before we had this term, robotic affirmations, one that I was using all the time. So let's talk about how it works. So we know in manifestation, especially if you've been following me for a while or in the manifestation community, everything in our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. It's a reflection of what we call our dominant thoughts or our states. We have very many states. We have states on almost every topic. So you could have a positive state on money, but maybe a not so positive state on relationships. You could have a positive state as it relates to the world and politics, or you could have a negative one on the world and politics, but a great one on family life. They're all varied. The key is, once again, knowing yourself and knowing what state you are, especially your dominant way of thinking. So to have what you really want, you need to think that way all the time on the subconscious level, right? On the subconscious level. And our subconscious, believe it or not, doesn't know truth from fiction. It's whatever is kind of going on repeat, hence robotic affirmations. It's what we have started repetitively believing. I know many people have heard people say, even like Esther Hicks and so forth, that a belief is a thought you just keep thinking. And so it's the same thing. We want to impress upon our subconscious the new belief or the new thought, and that's done with robotic affirmations. It literally impresses into our subconscious this new thought. It also, to me, it gets you to start feeling as the secret. We know from Neville Goddard, that is the goal, to start to feel your new way of being, your new affirmation as true. And by saying it over and over again, it does start to activate something in you. You do start to feel it over time. And if you're not feeling it at first, just keep going. As always, persist. Persistence is the key here. I definitely have lots of videos on that if you're interested in that. And the other thing that I want to say is that it starts to become your natural assumption. All of these things are kind of saying the same thing in a different way. But once you reprogram your mind through repeating a thought continuously, it ends up becoming your dominant thought or your dominant assumption. So in the case of what I was saying before about myself, instead of jumping to the negative, if my dominant thought has become everything always works out for me, my brain is going to look for that to be true. I'm going to start creating that to be true. It's going to decrease the amount of time that I spend on the negative, and I'm going to allow myself now to more fully go into looking for the positive. So you will see over time that these repetitive affirmations become like natural assumptions. I say that all the time about this whole lucky girl syndrome. I'm going to do a video on it, but lucky girl syndrome is essentially the same thing. You're telling yourself the same affirmations over and over again. And to me, it's very much like everything always works out for me. Of course, I would think I'm lucky, right? So anyway, I would love for you to find an affirmation that you can repeat over and over and over again and to not stop. So the last thing that I want to say about it is what happens when something pops up to the contrary. So let's say that you are manifesting, I am loved, I am lovable, and then something or someone pops into your environment to remind you, like in your 3D, that is maybe not happening right now, or it's not feeling like you're loved in that moment. And I say, I'm doing air quotes because this is really all we are determining. We're determining the value. We're determining the meaning. In fact, the person on the outside is just reflecting back to us. But let's just say that that's the reflection that we're getting. The goal here is to ignore it. As I say before, ignore the 3D. I have a whole video on that and why that helps us manifest. So you just want to essentially like pop off to it. That's what I think. Pop off to it. So if it's, you're doing, I am loving, I am loving, I am lovable, I am loved, and you see something that is contrary, I just pop off to it. No, I'm loved, I'm lovable, I'm loving, right? Oh, something that's trying to tell you you're not going to get what you want. I always get what I want, right? What I want is right around the corner. Everything always works out for me. For me, it's about the affect. You got to have a little swag. You got to have a little charisma. You got to have a little attitude with it. I think it makes manifestation fun. That's me. So I give a little attitude with my manifestations, as you guys will notice if you are following my channel. If not, make sure you are subscribed and liking and commenting below. But yeah, like pop off to it, shrug your shoulders, like brush it off and be like, no, I'm lovable, I'm loved, I'm considered, I'm prioritized, whatever it is. I'm so smart, I've got a new job, money always rolls in for me. You know, when something pops up, oh, the bank account looks shady. Nope, no. I start robotically affirming my main affirmations for that area. And if you need help creating some affirmations, definitely check out my other video at the top. So I hope this has given you some insight into robotic affirmations. I hope that you are at least intrigued and want to try. Hey, pick it, start it. I look at it. What do you have to lose? To me, nothing and everything to gain. Keep trying to do the robotic affirmations all throughout the day. Don't come back to me and say you tried it and like did it a couple of times. No, this is robotic for a reason. You have to keep affirming it. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'm excited to hear your stories. Drop them below and I'll see you next time.